Hello everyone, Lappiz here and welcome to another video. So today I want to talk about the future of this channel, but mainly what is going on with the HSR Archive, like why it hasn't been updated in a while and just my issues with it. But first I should probably talk about why I started making the archive in the first place. And basically the whole reason for the archive has to do with Genshin Impact, another Hoyoverse game that I genuinely love for its story and world. Say what you will about the farming and whatnot, but mainly it's that with some gacha games or live service games in general, it's hard to re-experience the story without resetting or making a new account. Now, Genshin does have a system where you can see the past story, but it's only through all the dialogue. We can't actually revisit or replay the scene, which is what I want. This is especially bad though when it comes to their big limited events every patch, as a lot of them are really good, like all the summer events for example, but they also hold a lot of lore and character development, so a ton of new players miss out on all of this since none of it is saved or reruns at all. A big example of this is the character Albedo, since all of his interactions and story are through these events. I mean, I don't think he's appeared in permanent content a single time. But anyway, by the time I realized all this content was limited, it was already too late to archive anything. So when Honkai Star Rail was released and I ended up really enjoying it and could see myself playing it for the long haul, I decided that I wanted to archive it not just for myself, but for others as well, so they could watch these past events and such. Now I will say, unfortunately, I couldn't archive everything, like the smaller events and side quests, as a lot of the footage for the early stuff got corrupted, which still makes me a bit sad when I think about it. But anyway, I wasn't gonna make a third account since that would just be too much to manage. So I just decided to keep the archive to the main story, companion missions, and the big events. So yeah, that's essentially the whole reason for the archive. I just wanted to save this story and these moments for anyone that wanted to watch specific moments again, revisit the story, or for the people that just don't have the time for the story and want to watch it at a later date. Who knows the reason, since it's different for everyone, and I think all of this should be archived in some way. Alright, so with the reason for the archive being out of the way, we can start to talk about why it hasn't been updated in a while, as well as some issues that I have with it. With the big main reason that I haven't updated the archive is because of the missing voice acting, which started in 2.2, I believe, with Argenti not being voiced, which wasn't that bad at the time since he played a very small part in the story. But within the last few updates, it's gotten pretty bad with more major characters not being voiced, which ends up being really jarring since everyone else is voiced, so it just takes you out of the moment. For example, in 2.7, oh, and spoilers if you haven't played that far yet, but in 2.7, Sunday and Robin have this emotional final goodbye to each other, with Sunday leaving to go on a new adventure. But with Robin not being voiced, the scene ends up falling apart and feeling really awkward since everyone else is voiced and this is a pretty big moment. Now, this issue with Robin specifically has been fixed from what I heard, but some other characters are still not voiced, like Himiko or Dong Hung, who from what I've heard also play a big role in 3.0, as well as some other characters. So with these major characters not being voiced and these scenes being really weird without them, I don't particularly want to continue the archive until these characters have their voices. And before anyone says I'm blaming the voice actors or whatever, that isn't the case at all, because there could be any reason for the missing voices, like the VA's personal lives, conflicting schedules, or perhaps it's due to the strikes. For anyone who doesn't know, a bunch of voice actors or the studios they're part of have gone on strike to protect their voices from being used for AI purposes. Or something like that. It's been a while since I read up on that whole situation, but it's completely understandable if that is the case. So yeah, that was the big issue with the archive. So what are the others? Well, one of the issues is me missing stuff or just choosing a bad option. You see, I don't follow anyone who does HSR content whatsoever, to avoid spoilers and whatnot, so I end up missing out on some stuff like notes and whatnot that appear after the story, or talking to some NPC at a specific moment. And with not being able to redo quests either, that makes it so your choices really matter. For example, at the end of the Penacony story, you can get this special scene with Acheron if you choose the right options. But on my other account that I go through before recording, I didn't get this and only found out about it through a Twitter post like an hour before recording, so thank God that I managed to see that post. So I do end up regretting some choices and missing stuff, and I mean this isn't the worst thing in the world since I can just add the missing stuff to the description like I've been doing, but when it comes to choices it's a bit more disastrous since I can't get a do-over. For example, sometimes I end up picking the worst option because the one I picked on my other account wasn't that great. But there isn't much I can do about that aside from constantly restarting during dialogue to check every option, which is just a major pain since it takes up so much time. And yeah, with that we're up to our final issue with the archive, which also leads into our next topic, and that has to do with the channel itself and its future. Basically, my own content that I've created clashes with the archive, since I don't consider that my content. It's just, well, an archive. Like, I don't talk over it, express my thoughts afterwards, or anything. And this whole thing sucks because I want to keep making my own content, but I know a majority of my subscribers are probably here for the archive. And I know what you're thinking, oh, why didn't I just upload on a separate channel? Well, it's mostly because I'm stupid and wasn't thinking at the time, but also that I forgot one of my dreams/desires, or whatever you want to call it. You see, ever since watching YouTube in like 2012 or sometime around there, I wanted to make my own content, but I didn't really have any way to make it, or didn't know how. So I eventually forgot about all that throughout the years, doing school and whatnot. So it wasn't until I started uploading my archive that I kind of rediscovered that I do in fact want to make my own content. The problem is that by the time I realized that, my channel was already a mess, so it was too late. But this is my main channel, my identity on the net if you will, so I want to keep making my own content here even if I regret a majority of it. Take the Yakuza 0 Kiryu is Fun video for example. I pretty much regret that whole video since it isn't exactly what I wanted. Or the Exploring Natland video and how the first 10 minutes were saying goodbye to the previous region, which was just unnecessary since the video wasn't supposed to be about that, and the fact that I missed reacting to some stuff like the Capybara mini-boss for example. But here's the thing, even if I regret these videos because of something with them, I won't delete them since I can always look back and learn from them. Basically, I want to keep making my own content, even if it's something as simple as a playthrough like my Hades 2 runs or Monster Hunter Wilds when that comes out. Of course, I also want to do big videos like my recent video, Let's Talk About Borderlands 3, which I put a lot of work into, and I will say, the amount of time I put into that video was painful. Mainly the script writing/reading, but I don't regret making it. At least at the moment. I probably will in time, but for now, I'm actually pretty happy with it, and the fact that I was even able to get it out in the first place. So with this being my main channel, where my content should be found, where would that leave the HSR archive? Well, I honestly don't know what to do, because transferring all of it to another channel is difficult for a few reasons. One is that YouTube doesn't have a feature that simply allows me to transfer videos from one account to another, even if they're connected without downloading the video. And speaking of downloading, I can't do that either since it's never at the original quality. So after downloading and then re-uploading, it would go down in quality twice because of how YouTube's compression works. And then I started to think of making a third account and play up until the content I haven't recorded, but that would just take so much time to catch up since I would have to rebuild characters and whatnot. It's just so much. Then I considered recording the videos, but that wouldn't work either since the quality of the videos is already down and it would go down like 3 more times through the recording, editor, and then re-uploading. So now I'm just at a complete loss at what to do since I think that the content should be separate. So for now, I will continue uploading my archive here until I figure out what to do, if I do anything. But if anyone does have any suggestions, my ears are wide open because I'm just so illiterate to all this stuff and I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, that's basically the gist of everything. I figured I should make this video as an explanation to everyone since I want to continue making my own content, small and big, while also doing the archive on the side, since I still love HSR and am excited for what's to come in its world, whether it's the story, characters, or world building. But at the end of the day, this content clashes with my own, and I'm at a loss of what to do about it. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Whether you've been curious about what's been happening or if you just found this video by chance, it doesn't matter. This video was kind of just a schizophrenic rant more than anything that I felt like I just needed to make to inform everyone what's been going on / going to happen, but mostly to stop myself from thinking about all of this. But yeah, maybe I'll see you guys next time in whatever content I make. But for now, that's been all, and thank you all for watching whatever this was. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time. Bye bye everyone!